handovers, but for this Shenzhou 15 crew, they did not only China's first ever handover, but also the second one, right? With
They look after one experiment
with the optical telescope.
lands in the ocean, so they will have less helicopters, but they will have more ships. So yeah.
Still, we need several minutes for the touchdown.
We just had another update there saying that the tracking is all in order.
Yeah.
That's the capsule there, the Shenzhou 15 three-man crew.
And besides this main parachute, you know that there is also a backup chute. If anything wrong happened to the main parachute, the backup chute will.
How far do you think it is from ground now?
59秒，报告完毕。回车2号，跟踪结束。正确，蒙氏。明白。
Oh, there it is.
Okay, we can see the
各号注意，返回舱着陆。
Touchdown for the Shenzhou 15. They're back to Earth.
Welcome home.
Indeed.
北京，雄鹰报告。
And the astronauts, actually the 02, probably Mr. Deng Qingming, must conduct the operation of cutting the.
From the inside. From the inside, yeah.
Yeah,
So that is the Shenzhou 15 crew landing back on Earth after a 6-month stay up at the China Space Station.
Yeah. You can still
Welcome
see the
home
smoke.
to Fei Jinlong, Deng Qingming, and Zhang Lu.
北京，雄鹰报告，雄鹰已到达着陆现场上空。
Right, we're hearing an announcement there from one of the search teams that they reached the landing site.
So again, this time it's not in a vertical position. Because
this is the camera, presumably from the different from the closest
from the
rescue
helicopter,
team.
from that
北
helicopter.
京第4次漏点预报已发出
you know that's
后
the
续
reason
由东风按计划组织
it's
搜
not
救
in the
回收工
vertical
作。
is because the center of its mass or the centroid of the vehicle has some deviation from its symmetrical axis. So that is the reason when it touches down, usually
It's
it
more
will lie
likely on its
down.
side, right?
Yeah. So although a vertical landing will be more comfortable, but usually it seldom happens.
So this sort of landing, they're essentially landing kind of sitting down, right?
As I mentioned,
Imagining
only
like how we're sitting right now, but touching the ground like
that
this.
only happened in Shenzhou 6 mission and the Shenzhou 13 mission.
The last one was also on its side as well.
Yeah. So you can see how fast the rescue team, they've
Yeah,
already.
you can see people running towards the capsule there.
Yeah, they've arrived.
Got 2 helicopters next to nearby.
So at least
this is
3
fantastic.
helicopters has arrived. We can see 2 in the video, and the other one is taking the video.
Well, how nervous were you, Professor Yang, during this?
I'm very nervous. It is because you know that for every flight mission, the launch and the re-entry is always the most dangerous part.
It's fraught with risks, isn't it?
Yes. You know that there were 18 astronauts lost their lives in history, and 11 of them lost their life during the re-entry.
It is definitely a huge risk. But then in the context of how many astronauts have been to space and come back,
Deng Qingming or 02.
how they just press something, right, and obviously it shoots off the parachute? Is that
There's a button on the side.
53秒，东京交通动速动3分53秒，北纬41度
Right,
38
prepared for
分
every
52秒
eventuality.，
北纬41度38分动100秒。
So there's another announcement of the landing site.
Yeah. So this is
For the
reported
benefit
by
of
the ground team.
Yeah, okay. So this is for the benefit of the rest of the rescuers.
So this is the final coordinate of the landing point.
东风雄鹰报告。请讲。
Oh, they must be
列
thrilled
结
right
站
now.
架设开通完毕
It's，still
报告
in
完毕。
process before they're coming out.
都不明白。
And coming out to a beautiful view as well. Look at the sun.
Yeah. So in the dawn of the Gobi Desert,
That's right.
very, very beautiful scene. And the 3 medical vehicles, 3 vehicles, with each astronaut share vehicle will arrive soon. And you know that even there are toilets inside the vehicle.
All right.
北京，我是深圳15号。
That was a
我是北京。
we're hearing from the Shenzhou 15 crew.
神
That
舟
was the
15号，请
voice
讲。
of the Shenzhou 15 crew.
Last
the youngest,
one,
right?
is the last one in the second batch of China's astronaut team who
this is also his
conducted
first flight.
his maiden flight.
So the 17, I think we're already on the third batch now.
Third batch.
So the ones who went up with Shenzhou 16.
Shenzhou 16, there are two members from the third batch.
Right.
And that's for my personal view, the second batch is very, very lucky. There are 7 astronauts. All of them have already had their flight missions.
No backups.
Yeah. And that Mr. Fei Jinlong is act as the chief of the astronaut team for several years before.
They have finished the installation of the astronauts' seats.
So both of Mr. Fei Jinlong's mission, he acted as the commander. He is also the commander of the Shenzhou 6 mission. So this is
they're in
he's
steady
also
hands.
the
The
commander.
Shenzhou 15 are in steady hands.
He's always the commander.
Do you think they'll be coming out? See, the camera is coming, so that means they're coming out very soon.
So you may notice the ground team.
Really simple, so it's mostly manual. Now it's more automatic, and then the spacecraft, the space station is very complicated. So you need a flight engineer to be able to sort of maintain it, and then obviously there's all these experiments that needs to be carried out. You need people. Right now, Professor Gui, the first civilian up there, he's still a journalist. He's actually his major is in spacecraft control. So later on, you'd have people working on specific experiments that are very difficult.
So more specialists.
Yeah, so they are actually really nothing to do with space industry whatsoever.
So you see a lot more scientists, perhaps.
A lot more scientists. So that really comes with
Engineers.
the more sophistication of the missions.
But the kind of combination though of usually always a 3-man crew or three women crew, but there will always have to be someone with a sort of astronautic background, with a
You
PLA
always
background, I think.
need at least a pilot,
Right.
just in case of emergencies.
Right.
Usually, the commander should have the qualification to be a pilot.
I see. And
And
then the
also,
other two could
we
be
need another pilot
scientists
to
or-
be a backup of each other. So in any case, if someone has for instance, some serious ill, the other one can take his role as a pilot. This is extremely important in abnormal cases when something wrong happened during the launch or during the re-entry or during the docking phase.
Right.
So the pilot can take the role
Take over manually,
to
right.
save the whole mission.
So we're seeing the third astronaut from the Shenzhou 15 crew, Zhang Lu, being carried out now.
动3航天员已出舱，报告完毕。
03. That's his number is.
Zhang Lu is also a previous pilot of the Air Force.
我是北
He's
京
very young. He's only
东风
in
警
his
长
40s, isn't he?
3名航天员已出舱
Is he the youngest of all these
I believe
missions?
he
to
was
be
born
on there?
in 1976,
something, yeah.
maybe.
北京明白。
Mr. Gui Haichao and Mr. Zhu Yangzhu are the youngest astronauts now in China, only 36 years
Oh,
old.
they're 30. Well, that is young.
So both were born in 1986.
Whereas each batch is roughly 10 years younger.
So here we'll be hearing from.
你好，张璐
Mr. Zhang.，
我是总台央视的记者。
With CMG.
首次飞行就长
Your
达半
first
年，
trip to
此
space
时此
lasted
刻
6
回到祖
months.
国的怀抱，
And now you're back
有什么
to
信息想
Earth.
表达的？
Anything
后
you'd
续
like
有
to
什么
say
计
at
划？
this moment? Any plan
我想说
afterwards?，
能够
I would like to
回到
say
地球沐浴阳光下，真的挺好的
I'm。really thrilled to be back to
我们
my country safely.
神舟15号
I'm
任务已
feeling
经结束
good,
了，
and
然
the
后
mission
平安
of
回到
Shenzhou
了
15
祖国的
is
怀抱
over.。
我现在心情十分
And
的激动
I'm。very excited.
我在空间站的时候，
In
也
the
经
space
常会在
station,
舷窗
I often
透过舷窗眺望，
looked out
想寻找
through
我
the
的祖国，
porthole
寻找我
window
的家
looking
乡，
for my
也
motherland,
寻找
my
瞭望洞
hometown,
庭湖。
and the
虽然说
Dongting
厚厚的
Lake.
云层总是遮挡我的视线，让我看
Unfortunately,
不
the
清
thick
楚。
clouds
但是我
always
知道
block my
祖
view,
国
so I
一直在
couldn't
我
see
心中，
clearly.
家
But I
乡
know
也
my
一直在我
mother
心中。
and my
现在
hometown
任务结束
always
之后，
been
我
in
们
my heart.
会 尽快的调整好
Going
身体，
forward,
投
we
入
will
训练，
first get back
随
in
时准
shape
备
as
再
soon
次
as
出征太
possible
空，
and
不负这个
also
伟
to
大的时代，
resume
不
training
负
to
打
prepare
哈尔
ourselves
滨的
ready
重
for the
装。
next
最
mission
后
and
还
we
有一句
will
话想
always
要与
leave
大
up
家一起分
ourselves
享，
to the
这
trust
是
of
我
the
在神
party,
舟
the
15号
country
任务之
and
后
the people.
经历4次出
Finally, I
征
have some
的一个
words to
感
share
悟，
with you
言
and
有
also
星
my
辰大海，身怀
inspirations.
赤胆
I
忠
see
心
a。sea full of stars and I give my
谢谢，
heart
谢谢。
to the country. Thank
哎，
you.
非常好。
He seems to be in very good spirits. That's Zhang Lu,
Yeah.
our third and last astronaut with the Shenzhou 15 crew. So now the capsule is empty,
熊亲娘，
and he'll be lifted off to his
正在
land
台
as well
送
for his
动
medical
山航天
checkups.
员自一间一救车报告完毕。
I like that he said that it was nice to feel the sun on
Right.
Earth. Right. I mean, 6 months in space, just no concept of that, right?
Maybe
no
more
concept
favorite
of time,
is the
no
fresh
concept
air.
of warmth.
Fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks to be in a good good spirit and a good house.
Definitely.
Yeah. He looks like he might be able to just walk on his own.
Maybe even run.
Right.
I don't know, waving excitedly. So it's Fei Junlong, Deng Qingming, and Zhang Lu are now all out of the capsule with the Shenzhou 15 crew, and we heard him there saying that he feels good and he's looking smiley. So definitely in good spirits. Who do you think will be the second one to come out?
It should be Deng Qingming.
So sort of in order of seniority?
Right. There's 01, 02, 03,
Ah,
the
right,
designation
of
of
course,
the astronaut. Yeah.
As I mentioned, O2, Mr. Deng Qingming is in charge of cutting the parachute because only there is a
东
button
风
near him.
雄鹰报告，
And there's Commander Fei waving.
正在台送动幺航天员自一间一救车
So he's
报告完
01.
毕。
That's his serial
Don't tell me
number, isn't
that.
it?
Yeah. And he's the commander.
And they'll be taking him now to the little medical van.
Yeah, yeah. The medical vehicle, there are 3 of this kind of vehicle
One for each of
for
them.
each
雄鹰报告
astronaut.，
What sort of checkups would they likely be doing there? Just heart, blood?
Their biological parameters of their body. As I mentioned, there are even toilets prepared for them.
When will they
Very,
get
very
to,
comfortable.
When will they get to eat? I mean, presumably their body needs to adjust for a bit before they can
Yes,
take any
specially
foods,
prepared
right?
for them. Yeah.
Do we know what could be on the menu?
Not too salty, maybe.
Something healthy.
It's personalized now, but tradition is when they go out, they eat dumplings, and then when they come back, they eat noodles.
Personalizes and they might get to decide, might get to request what they would like to
Right,
eat.
probably different types of
报
noodles.
告完毕。
都不明白。
So you can see the orange ground vehicles is the medical ground vehicles for the prepared for the
There's
astronauts.
3 of them there. So we just heard that the Deng Qingming is getting ready to come out as well.
Yeah.
So
You
this
know
is
that
Commander
even
Fei
for
going
the
into his van.
even for the Shenzhou 12 mission, we only have 1 vehicle for the astronaut. But since the Shenzhou 13 mission, we have 3 of these vehicles.
So, you have a
So more
personalized-
comfortable for the astronauts.
Right. And more attention on them as well.
Yeah.
Each one gets a crew that they deserve. And that's the teams there preparing the seat for Deng, who will be coming out
东
very
风
soon.
雄鹰报告，
熊请讲。
动幺航天员已台送至
And I
一
think that
间
is
救
their
车
that's their
报告
luggage,
完
isn't
毕。
it? That little bag there, each of them. Or is that did they take that out of the capsule?
No, I think
Oh no, that's
that's
something that's there.
雄鹰
That's,
报告，
oh, that's something the search teams probably brought.
yeah, that came
Don't
with the ground crew.
动两航天员已出舱
there
报告
he
完
goes.
毕。
都不明白
Now。there is Deng Qingming being lifted out and onto his seat, and he'll be soon taken to the medical van as well. Wrapping him up. It looks very windy there.
Yeah. So that's pretty good that they had a smooth landing because wind can be a problem.
Can make it very shaky.
Right.
And we'll be hearing his
欢迎回
first
家
words.
Welcome back
25年的
home.
坚持与努力，
After
此时此
25
刻
years
返
of
回地球，
persistence and
有
hard
什么
work,
心情想表达的？
what do you like to say at
我
this
回
moment?
到地球的怀抱，回到
I'm
祖国
very
的怀抱
happy to be，back
看到
in
这
the
么多亲
embrace
人，
of
我
my
非常非常的
home,
高
and
兴，
I'm
非常
very
非常
glad to
幸福。
see my family and
此
the
时此
loved
刻，我
ones.
想
I'm very happy.
感谢全
And
国
I would
人
like to
民
say a
对
big
我的
thank
我
you
们
to the
成
people
的
of our
关注、
country
支持
for
和
their
鼓励
great。support and encouragement to our
也
crew,
感谢航天
and
一线
also
的
to
所
all
有
of
工作
our
人员的
colleagues on the
180多天
ground
的
for
日夜
their
陪伴。
accompany day and
此时此刻，
night
我
in
非
the
常想
past
念
more
家，
than
想
180
念家
days.
乡。
I really miss
25
my
年的
hometown and
非
my
典经历
family
让
and
我更加
friends,
坚信
and I
梦想的力
believe
量。
ওমানে শতভাগ নিজস্ব মালিকানায় ব্যবসা প্রতিষ্ঠান খুলতে কল করুন +968 9562 6624 এই নম্বরে।